All right, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, citizens of YouTube. This is Pastor Dow. And let me go ahead and answer this question real quick because, it's mentioned to me quite often, and I just thought I'd go ahead and address this. The reason why people are being drawn to me, this pastor right here of the Straightway Truth, is because I talk about somebody else and not myself. I boast about him and not myself. And the work that I do is about him. And I am instrumental in teaching the people about him. And when people finally come here and they see me, they see that there's really truly no difference with exception of the person, Pastor Dow, as opposed to the preacher, Pastor Dow. They understand the difference in the dynamic of ministering, preaching, and teaching. And when people meet myself and Sister Carol, there's an immediate connection there. They get it. They understand it. They do not sense that I have some type of motive or some type of an agenda, underminingly, to deceive the people. They don't get that. When they come here and they're invited to our home, they see that this man's words lines up with his lifestyle. And they know I'm not playing games. And so therefore it gives people a confidence. Because my aim is to pull people, especially those who are real, true, bona fide Israelites, out of all religions in the world if I could. I already know it's going to be a few. But I'm not about to lie to people. I understand how lies make people feel. I understand when somebody says one thing and does another, how it makes them feel. I understand what betrayal feels like. I understand what it means to be lied to. I understand what that feels like. I understand what it means to be disappointed as well as disappoint others. And, all these years, I've almost been alive a half a century. And if I have not learned anything after all these years on this earth, then what a wasted life. What a literal wasted life that has been. But I have not made the mistakes as some people. People choose to rationally disregard truth because it doesn't benefit their own selfish ways. You see, I'm interested in truth. I don't care what that truth is, whatever that truth may be. Now, when it comes to the faith front, that is my whole entire motivation. And I believe with all my heart that while there are many people out here that disagree in what his name may be, it's hard to not see that we're all still talking about the same person. That's just the truth. These languages that they have today, there's nobody that can actually speak the ancient Paleo-Hebrew that Moshe and them, the original children of Israel, spoke during that day. And I don't care what anybody says. The best they can do is this Yiddish, Germanic, broken Hebrew type language. That's all there's to it. When it comes to the financial front, I get on here and I speak about things that I know because I've done the research. I spent the oil just like I have with the Bible. I spend time researching these things. I understand what it means to be religious. After all, Pastor Dow, I was a Baptist. I was in the Church of Christ church. I was in the Pentecostal church. And then I was in the non-denominational church. So I know what it means to be church. And after the Most High separated me and brought me out here to this land, and he allowed me to be schooled under the tutelage of the Holy Spirit, I got this thing pretty much figured out. From that point, we just continue to keep growing in grace and in knowledge. And so when people meet myself, when they meet Sister Carol, they understand that when they see me, hey, I'm a man. I still have a long way to go in this perfection process. But they see a man that is sincere. They see a woman that is sincere. Sister Carol and I, like many of you, we've made many mistakes in life. Many of them. But the difference with us is that we just don't sit back, bellyache, moan, bawl, squall, and cry. And I definitely am not going to live under condemnation under any man who is breathing the same air and has blood flowing through his veins and walks on the same earth and eats the same food that I do. I'm not about to let any man's judgment persuade me, any way, shape, fashion, or form, to get me off course from the course that we're on. So we go out and we strengthen people. We believe that. And I believe that religion, there's some militant people. Religion has people do some crazy stuff. The things that we've come to, the knowledge of the truth that we've ascribed to and came to, it came because of much experience, much prayer, much understanding. And so whether it be on the political, the social, the economic, so most people term it as the religious front. When you hear me talk about certain things, ladies and gentlemen, that's because I only talk about the things that I know. I dare not stretch myself beyond measure and talk about things that I'm not familiar with and I have not educated myself in. I would look like a fool, wouldn't I? And I wouldn't expect anybody to listen to a fool. So, I don't use past shortcomings and faults. I don't use anything or any ramification of the flesh to keep me from going on to perfection. As a matter of fact, every obstacle and everything that I've ever encountered in my life, I've always used it as a means to negotiate that obstacle, step right over it, and to continue to go on and grow stronger, but learned from the mistakes of the past. And that's what I've done. And I'm going to continue to keep growing in that grace and in that knowledge. And I'm going to continue on that perfection process. But it does me no good to just keep it between, to myself and my little family. The Most High, Yah's given me utterance. He's given me understanding. He's given me the power of the Holy Spirit to be able to communicate and articulate truth to you, the masses of the people who choose to hear and listen to the words that I have to say. And to the rest, and if you don't have the ears to hear, I understand that. That's none of my concern. It's none of my business. That's between you and the King. But however, for the few that do honor me and listen to me, there's one thing about it. Your life will change. And it will come at a cost. People will hate you for no reason. They will actually hate you for being moral. They would actually hate you for being holy. They would actually hate you for being just. And the reason why they hate you is because your righteousness now that you've embraced, you decided to leave back and leave behind a life of hypocrisy. Your righteousness, which you decide to embrace and to live, is now reflecting upon their corruption. And people don't like lights shining up on them, whether you're saying something or not. You can just stand in a room and people can be hating on you just because you made a change and they have not had the intestinal fortitude within their hearts to make the change for themselves. But so don't be discouraged. Continue to press on and continue to go on, and you'll see and continue to see, as many people have saw, that your life will it'll be drastically improved. You will see that peace will come to your mind the more you have understanding, and not only that, you will see your relationship restored with the one who made you, and you'll be thankful and you'll be grateful, and you'll have a peace that passes all understanding. But you have to and you must put effort into it. So that's why I do what I do, because I don't like people experiencing pain. And I understand that many of our minds have been shaped by our environments, and most of us have not lived in healthy environments. So it is my hope that I've said something here to stimulate your mind, your conscience, to help you and persuade you to go on and continue on in the faith. Life is entirely too short to live each and every day in misery, especially when deliverance is available. If you choose to live a life of misery, if you choose to live a life of discord, if you choose to live a life of where you're always contentious and angry and full of fears and just in love, fussing and fighting and living in sickness, that's your prerogative. You have that right. If you choose to serve another god, foreign gods, that's none of my business. That you have that right. If you choose to ignore me on the financial front and continue to trust in this system and the Federal Reserve notes and the fiat currency, hey, that's none of my business. I really don't get upset about it. My inspiration here is to inspire people who have the ears to hear, and not those of you who don't have the ears to hear. I will tell you this, by my own admission and definition, informed, intelligent people listen to me, and that is just the truth. And I have people from all different walks of life, from doctors, lawyers, engineers, nurses, housewives, people who cut lawns for a living, framers of houses and stuff, homemakers, people who own their own businesses. I have a diverse group of people that listen to me all across the board, and that lets me know one thing, that if you're able to hear me, you do have the spirit of truth. That's all there is to it. Now, can people disagree with that statement? Sure, that's their right, that's their prerogative. But why even waste time sitting over here listening to someone who you don't even agree with? I mean, it's simple. Just click the video and go somewhere else. I mean, why even get yourself all in an uproar and stirred up? You understand? It doesn't make any sense. I mean, come on. Isn't life too short for that? But those of you who do hear, more will be expected of you, because much is given, much is required. And I expect for you to attain peace. I expect for you to ensure peace and pursue it. I expect for you to continually to grow. And not only that, when you have been strengthened, I expect you to actually go and strengthen somebody else who may have the ears to hear. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. I could be wrong by the admission of a lot of people, but I really, truly don't think there's nothing wrong with that. I hope that you get it. But remember, don't stretch yourself beyond measure. And if you don't know a particular subject or topic that somebody is speaking about, and you only have limited knowledge of it, act intelligent. Don't speak on it until you've done your due diligence and really truly have checked out this situation, checked out what they said, and confirmed to see if what they're saying is so. Don't do like so many people in this world, especially American people, where they have defined truth under their own terms. Don't do that. Be informed, be educated, and be at peace. I had to abruptly end the video here just for a second and stuff, but I had one more thought that I wanted to add to this before I conclude this particular video right here. No matter what we do in life, no matter what we choose to believe or what path we take, the one thing about it that really truly matters when it's all said and done, you had better make sure that you are right. You only have one life, and you can't afford to be wrong in any aspect of this life right here that you choose to walk in. You better hope that you have chosen right and may have made the right decision, because whether we like it or not, in the end, you will find out, and all of us will test that boast. Nobody is going to be exempt from that, and that's the truth. And that's the truth straightway.